Turn my headphones up.
What's up, guys? My name is Steve, and I am here with the Tats All podcast. With me is my good buddy and coworker, Jonathan.
What's up, babies?
Yeah. And in the house, we have a very special guest, Mr. Chazz Hysell.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, dude? How you
What's
doing?
up? I'm doing great, man.
Yeah,
Glad
yeah.
to
I
be
love
here.
this guy. This guy's a gem.
Yeah, hell
so
yeah, he
sweet.
is, dude. But yeah, you are a CFH tattooer on Instagram.
Yep.
Most people know you for your chrome work and
Yes,
all
sir.
that wonderful fucking snazzy shit. But for the people that don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, man. My name's Chazz Hysell, CFH tattooer on Instagram, TikTok. I do make a bunch of traddy tatties, borderline neo trad, not really much so. But I'm mostly known for the chrome stuff, dude. Trying to dabble in some black work,
Yeah, hell yeah. You
Dark
you
alter
showed me
ego.
that alter ego
Yeah.
page. Yeah, that's tight, dude. But yeah, so you're over at Electric Gold now.
Yeah.
You've
Been there 3 years.
tattooing,
Yeah.
like 16 years now, right? 17?
Going on 17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's cool,
Since
man.
2006. I'm horrible with math.
Yeah. And yeah, you're a second gen tattooer.
Second
which is
generation
fucking
tattooer.
Awesome.
My dad, both of his brothers, my uncles are tattooers. Even my granddad, not blood related, but married in. He's a tattooer. He's been retired now, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, tell us about that, man. How'd you
yeah,
get into
dude.
it?
I mean, I apprenticed under my dad 2005-ish. He had a shop in Ashland, Kentucky, called the Inkwell. Originally was open in Huntington on 4th Avenue. Dude, he was a monster in his own right, dude. He always jokes with me. He's like, dude, if I had the capability of Instagram back whenever I was killing it, I'd have been world famous.
Dude, well, I actually looked him up, dude. All his stuff on his Instagram
Solid.
is heaters.
Yo,
Yeah,
he's
very cool.
walk-in tatter, bro, and that's how he trained me. He's like,
Yeah.
you will never have a job nowhere unless you can do anything. He's like, if there's stuff that you can't do, then why would they have you there? So I was pretty much taught, dude, how to do whatever walks through that door. So what you see on my page isn't necessarily all you're limited to,
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So with your dad, was that something that like you wanted to do, or
yeah, dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Since like 4th grade, this was before tattoo TV, and it was put in everybody's face. I was that little kid telling their teacher, "I want to be a tattoo artist," and they were looking at me like, "What is going on in your home life, dude?" Because that's not something a normal 4th grade kid would want to
back
do.
in the 90s, they're like, ugh.
Yeah, not at all.
Questionable. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
So
Living the dream.
when did he start tattooing?
Dude, all right, so he started tattooing. I was born in 88, so around then, maybe a little before that, after. Funny story, man. It all started, my dad was great at art. Always been great at art, got art scholarships, this and that. Airbrush artist, My Uncle Jimmy, he did some shitbaggery and it found himself in prison. He learned how to make a homemade machine, got out, taught my dad how to make a homemade machine, and the rest was history. My Uncle Jimmy went back to prison. Fucking my dad, he took that and ran with it and got the whole beginning like starter kit type stuff, and from there, he ended up in a shop. And by the time my Uncle Jimmy got out of prison, he got my Uncle Jimmy into that shop. I think it was, what was it? Warlocks, Southern Dragons in fucking Raleigh, North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Dude, so what was that?
That's
apprenticeship?
such like a prodigy
Yeah,
story.
it's
like such a
crazy. It was, oddly enough, he didn't even really, he wasn't like, I wouldn't say like super supportive on like my whole ambition on wanting to be a tattooer, man. As you know, man, tattooing is definitely much busier in my opinion now than it was say 2006, 2005.
Oh, yeah,
it's a whole different world, man. I remember going a week or 3 weeks sometimes doing like one shop minimum tat at $40. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like
the
it was a
hustle was
struggle.
real
It was a
back then,
real
dude. Yeah.
struggle. And he didn't want that for me. He wanted me to stay in school, but I'd already had my mind made up, man. School wasn't for me. I was too cool for that, and I
the
just wanted to
passion
make
was
tats,
set.
bro. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember back in like 2008 when I started, it was like that, dude.
Yeah.
It was
dude, it's dead,
super
bro.
cutthroat.
Oh
very
yeah,
dead,
absolutely.
dude.
Nobody was talking to each other in shops. Like I feel like I got friends in damn near every shop in this area. You know?
Oh yeah, dude.
And like back then, it was like you don't talk to them, and if you do, you ain't working here type mentality.
Yeah,
you know?
Nowadays, like we do paint nights together. And
Yeah,
all that
dude, it's
shit.
crazy.
Like, that was
so
not the
wild,
fucking case.
dude.
I
That would have
remember-
never happened. That would have never flew in 2005, 2006,
Hell no,
ever, bro.
dude. Yeah, I remember it was like circa 2010. I was working in a shop and like it was still like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I was
yeah.
like, dude, fuck, this is just so stupid that we're like throwing
Stagnant,
stones at each other. Like,
bro.
So I made it a point to go out and reach out to these shops and like talk to them and hang out with them
Yeah.
and go out and have drinks together. And it built up this crazy camaraderie between us that didn't exist
Bro, and
before.
I feel like that's one of the things that really drew me to this was, I mean, not necessarily like the craft as a whole, but like in that shop, that camaraderie, that brotherhood is wild. I mean, you know, just trying to make it sound like a boys club thing, but then it kind of was, you know. I'm really happy with the route that tattooing's going now, man. How just open arms it is to everybody, dude, which I've always felt that was how a tattoo shop should be, you know, like no matter race, religion, color, whatever, bro. Like the only thing that mattered in a shop was the money, bro. It didn't matter what your sexual orientation or anything was, bro. Like come in, get tattooed, let's make you feel comfortable, give me your money.
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was like, just make good tats.
Yeah, dude, that's it.
Like,
Fucking put your head down, work,
like,
man. That's
yeah.
it.
And it's great. It was crazy because, like, dude, there's this shop that's a mile up the road. Like, why aren't we fucking hanging out and bouncing ideas off each other and like kicking it?
Yeah.
You know, that was just, it blew my mind that
During
didn't
that whole
exist
era,
back
just
then,
all
dude.
the Cherry Creek Flash, bro. All that Cherry Creek Flash, David Bolt Flash, Bullseye Flash. Remember Tattoo Johnny had a website.
Oh,
Tattoo
yeah,
Johnny.
Tattoo
They had a
Johnny, dude.
they
Yeah.
had a website
With
where
the,
they
like,
could
the
go.
Johnny Bravo looking
Yeah,
motherfucker.
dude,
Yeah.
they could go online, and I think that was like before people came in with pictures on their phone.
Yep.
You know, like that was like the best that they had. Like they could go online, look at all these, which is Flash shit that we had hanging on the walls anyway,
Dude, I
bro.
remember doing that. I remember
Yeah.
like sending people to Tattoo Johnny and Defont.com.
Yeah,
Like, those are the two.
yes,
It
I
was like,
still
yeah,
use
we
the
don't have,
font.
you know, we don't have
I
anything
still
you like.
use it.
Like go
Yeah.
here, pick something out. I'll
But
fucking-
I thought it was the funniest shit, man, because people would pay $15, $25, $30 for a design that was fully colored rendered, and then you had the line drawn, and they would bring it in like, hey, I want this tattooed. I already got this, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro, you wasted your money, man. And I'll take them over to the flash rack, flip over. I'm like, there it is right there, dude. You could have
Man,
just
you had
came
that
in,
shit.
picked it out.
you
and
had that shit memorized
yeah.
too, bro. Like,
yeah.
big
Oh, yeah.
time.
You knew where everything was,
Yeah.
dude. Where all the Tweety birds was,
Yeah.
the praying hands, the crosses, which that was money making stuff, dude. Like
Oh, yeah.
praying hands, the crosses, the little hearts,
Dude,
butterflies.
was it Cherry Creek that had
Cherry
the fucking
Creek.
Jesus? That was
Oh
like
yeah,
the-
Jesus,
Yeah,
man.
dude. Yeah, the
cool
shop I
Jesus.
apprenticed at, we actually, it was an ungodly amount of fucking flash that
Dude.
was in that shop.
Yeah.
Like, stupid. Walls, I think it was like two
Top to
layers.
bottom, bro.
Top to bottom. And then in the center of the floor, we had the double-sided, like,
Yeah, the
top
racks,
to bottom
yep.
racks, dude.
Dude.
And then in the back, there was like a, I don't know, it had
Kanji.
to be like a fucking...
Remember Kanji?
Oh, Kanji
Doing
was
all,
it,
I got
dude, yeah.
Kanji right here.
Yeah.
I got that back in like 2000.
No, we had like a 10-drawer
7.
fucking filing cabinet full of the line drawings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, bro.
That's how I got my first tattoo. I went through like those racks and I saw a tribal band and I'm like, right there, dude. That
Dude,
fucking
eh,
tribal band.
That used to be some of the
hard.
magic about
yeah.
getting tattooed, man. And what I find the most fascinating to me now, like I'll come across people like at a convention outside smoking a cigarette, and I'll see somebody that has like that picked the same flash that I picked that I'm wearing, and I'm like, fucking Flash brother, what's up, bro? Like, you know, who did yours? When'd you get that done? It's a nice kickoff point to a conversation, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, my first fucking tattoo is actually a Cherry Creek piece.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
it's
great.
long gone, covered up now, but yeah, man, Cherry
Creek,
It's
dude.
funny because your chrome shit, I don't know what it is. It reminds me of Cherry Creek
Bro,
a little
it's
bit, telling
you,
bit,
man.
dude.
Well, I've
Because
cut
they
my
had like
teeth
that
on
chrome
it, dude.
section.
And they just, what is it? The one guy, official tattoo brand. JD Crow. He used to do a bunch of Flash, and I thought JD Crow's Flash, especially for the era, was the best fucking Flash there was, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and Moneymakers. And oddly enough, is I never really got to. It was a little more bubblier than, you know, like Cherry Creek. But Cherry Creek had like a hint of realism to it in a sense. You know,
they were kinda
sometimes,
all over
especially
the
with their
place with some of their
tigers and
stuff,
stuff, cartoony. You know.
Yeah, I know you fucking tattooed that little fucking tiger.
Oh
Like,
yeah, the little tiger all posted up. Yeah,
yeah, dude.
yeah.
Or like the tiger butterflies. I know there's a bunch of you out there
Yes,
with
the
that
tiger
motherfucker on.
butterflies, dude. That was a lower back need must have, dude.
Dude, the one I tattooed the most that was a lower back thing was the dolphins.
Yes,
Swimming into the heart, dude, with the waves,
yeah,
dude.
do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yep,
Hell yeah,
yep.
dude.
But,
Yeah, dude.
man.
Flash. I remember back then, dude. I feel like thinking back, I was so pretentious. I was like, oh well, what if I take that you're trying to pick off the wall and let me add my flavor on it, be creative, and just draw you one, dude. And my drawing sucked, man. You know. But nowadays, dude, 17 years later, I'm like, bro, please just come in, pick one of my wanted dudes or want something out of my Flash books, dude.
Please,
Yeah.
any Flash.
Yeah, please, any
It's
Flash.
weird that Flash was such a thing. I mean, it was a pivotal moment.
Oh, yeah.
A pivotal thing in like
Dude,
all
that's-
of our careers, and like the fact that it's like almost frowned upon now to
Yeah.
like use Flash
Yeah,
and copy
dude.
shit and like, man, it was like
It was built. Tattooing's built off the backs of copying. Dude.
it really
Like,
is. And like
everything,
I remember
sharing
back
information.
then, it was like almost like a fucking unicorn when someone came in with like
New
a pre-done
sheets.
thing,
Yeah.
like, and they're like, "This is exactly
Yeah.
what I want." Like
Dude, I
99%
remember
of
those
the people I
who
tattooed
would come in, like
they
and
didn't
you
know
would,
what they
you would
wanted.
have them come in
Yeah.
every so often, maybe once or twice a year. You would have like a new artist just driving through the area who would have like flash sheets for sale, and they would be stopping
Oh, yeah,
at
out of
every
the fucking
shop
van,
because they
dude.
weren't selling them online.
Yeah.
There was no social media then. I mean, what I think, let's see, 2006. I think there was MySpace, right? But I was so technically ignorant around that time. I didn't even know how to work none of that. So I didn't even hop on MySpace until like the tail end of that. Facebook had already popped off, you know, and I wasn't using none of
So
that
you got on
stuff
MySpace and it was
Yeah.
like gone. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
like, I just got
exactly.
used to this shit.
Which I still
just
think
got
that
my
was the
top
coolest.
8 up.
That was the coolest social media, man. In my opinion, you could do your own wallpaper. You'd have your own track list on there, bro.
Yeah.
All of it.
Fucking get
top
into
8
it,
friends.
Get into it with your friend. You're like, I'm dropping you.
Yeah,
bitch.
bro. You ain't in my top 8 no more, dude. I'm
Or
putting
like
Tom
you
back
shuffle
up
that
there.
shit around. You get a text from your friend. You're like, why the fuck am I number 3 on your top 8 now? It's like, well,
Oh, so you like your girl better than me now, huh?
God damn, what a
Nah,
fucking
man.
time, dude.
Tattooing's fun, dude. It's definitely been a roller coaster ride, a bunch of
Yeah.
ups and downs.
Social
dude.
media is definitely like
It changed the game, dude.
it changed
Instagram.
it, dude.
Instagram
I remember.
changed the game.
So I got on Instagram like 2012, 2013.
Same.
And the artists that I worked with in the shop at the time were like, "What the fuck is that? What are you
Yeah.
doing on that thing? It's like
Yeah.
the dumbest shit I've
I
ever
feel
seen."
like that happens every so often with tattooing, dude. Like something new comes out, like back in the what 70s, 80s. They're like, "Oh, I'm not sterilizing my stuff. You know, I'm not using no
wearing gloves."
thermofax. That's cheating, dude. Like, come on, man." I went through it with the iPad. Once I got the iPad, and they're like, "Oh, you're cheating." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm working smarter, dog." Like,
Yeah.
you know, because even before then, I was using Photoshop, bro.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, that magic erase tool was fucking. That was magic.
Hell
It
yeah,
really
dude, I
was.
fucking knew Photoshop like the back
Oh,
of my
dude,
hand.
same.
But
Same.
luckily for me, when I got onto the iPad, I was in a shop that was progressive, where I was actually like the last guy to get an iPad.
Really? It's
Yeah.
me too. I mean, as far as like my like close peers, I was the last one, and
For me, it was just like I gotta drop $1,300 fucking
I
dollars
know,
on this dumb thing, dude.
I know,
Like,
man.
my-
That was working at
my
a shop
micron
at like
pens are
50-60%.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember percentage? God, I gave so much money away.
God, it's gross when you actually do the
Oh,
numbers.
dude,
I
it
don't
was
like
so
it.
bad.
Yeah.
So
But I
bad.
don't know, I paid my dues. With
Yeah,
it, you
same,
know?
bro.
I mean,
Definitely earned it.
I was, God, the better part of 12 years in before I
Same.
got on a booth rent shop.
Yeah, same. 12, 13,
So I feel-
13 years in, yeah.
Man, these cats are a year in going the booth round, like, man, you
I know you have no idea, dude.
Or the fact that like the niche thing is such an in thing right now, to where you have 1 year tattooers that are just doing their shit.
You got tattooers who are coming in the game who's never scrubbed tubes, right? Never scrubbed tubes, never had to use tracing paper, layers of tracing paper, dude. I remember working on an appointment or even a walk-in and having to go through like, 10, 15 different layers of just tracing paper, and then you go to that final drawing, you get like a little hiccup or some shit. You're like, fuck, man, I guess I'll just go kill myself now.
Dude, the worst for me was you do it all, right? Get it all done. You fucking drew it for the wrong damn arm.
Oh, dude.
They come in, they're like, I want it on my left arm. You're like,
there's like
dude.
a banner with words in it or something, and you're like, man, there's no flipping this.
Nope.
Let's just
run
it.
In your brain, like the flow and composition's already the way you Like if you ever do that, and I'm sure people do it now, where you take your image, you draw it a certain way, and then you have to flip it for the other side. It totally fucking throws off your vibe.
Well, see, and that was one of the tricks, especially drawing like lady faces, dude, with tracing paper is as I would sketch this thing out, I would constantly flip that drawing back and forth because you can draw things into your eye and your perception of it. It looks right that one way, like a 3/4 turn facing left. You flip it over to the right, and it's like, okay, that eye's low as fuck.
You notice things. When
yeah,
you
dude, it's so
stuff,
crazy. So you constantly, I'd always constantly flip it back and forth, and I still do that even on the iPad. I'll just flip my page horizontally back and forth until I get everything right where I want it, and it looks right both ways. Yeah,
we actually did it was like a EDU seminar recently with Mason Chamato over at Seven Reapers.
Nice.
And that was one of the things he touched on. He was like, you think it's right,
but it's
flip
not.
It.
Yeah,
do these little things.
See,
to
and
where
that's a
you're
mistake that I
you'll
made
notice
a
little
long
tiny
time.
things.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, thankfully with the iPad,
it's just a button. It's just a button now, dude.
It's a half a second.
Dude, have you found yourself pulling a line? You go pull a line on skin, and then you try to hit it with that double tap, the backspace that thing. I've done it. I've tried zooming in on it before. Yep. Oh man.
Oops. I remember the first time I did it. I can't remember who. I might have been Skylar or Adam or someone was like watching me, and I did it, and they were like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, what was that? I was like,
nothing.
Nothing.
Don't worry about it. It's cool.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's funny how the digital era of tattooing
it's
just
changed so much, dude. Just
crazy.
Just since Instagram, bro. Like before then, it was tattoo magazines. Like you only had tat magazines, and a lot of that shit was pay to play. So you're looking at trash work, thinking that that's the standard. You know what I'm saying? I was the shit back then, in my opinion.
I know
looking
you guys
back, bro,
remember Prick Magazine.
Oh,
like
Prick Magazine, Taboo.
Funny story about that. I remember it was Mike DeVries. He put in an article on Prick, and we would get the magazines.
Yep.
I remember my mentor being like, "No, that's fake. That ain't real. No way someone can tattoo like that." It was like a heart or a hand holding a heart.
I even bought and invested into the pneumatic.
Oh, the
air
pneumatic?
Fucking compressor.
That's actually
dude.
what I use now. Is
Nice.
The Numas.
I've heard that they came out with.
Yeah,
dude.
Dude,
that's not necessarily
man.
just the air compress. You can actually hook it straight up, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to try it, man. But the machines back then, man, they ran. They slapped, bro.
And I mean, he is so good about like improving the machine. Like the first one I got, it was probably like 2 or 3 times he sent me like new cams and new gears because he was like improving like the way the machine operated.
Right.
And I mean, each time it was better and better and better.
The day I switched to Numa is the day my work like sped up by 30% and got more solid.
That's how I felt whenever I started using all the Cubans, man. I used Dan Cuban machines, the Sidewinder for a line. They're mean, bro. They're mean. You got to move. But
so I hate getting tattooed, but I extra hate getting tattooed when I go there and I look at the setup and the artist has a Cuban out.
Oh yeah, it's about to rip, bro.
I'm in it for today, dude. Fuck,
it definitely slaps, man. I remember first time I got one of them, dude, and I gave it. My dad try to feel that hit. He was like, "Damn, what you trying to do? Put a tattoo directly through somebody, man?" He's like, "Let's go blow him straight out." I'm like, "Nah, dude. Like I've already used it like a dozen times. It's not blowing nobody out. You just got to keep it moving, dude. You hesitate at all, you blowing somebody out. You hurting them if you don't cut them."
I mean, while we're on the subject of machines, I know we were talking about how like coils, like there is nothing like a coil. as much as I love a rotary, I don't know what it is. Like you cannot replicate what a coil does.
It's that give, man.
Yeah.
Because
And it's like what
rotaries
you
don't
said,
have
they
that
have
give.
like a soul.
Yeah, dude. Coils have a soul. My dad, he always said that, coils have a soul because it's electrically driven and it has magnetics that kind of pulsate through it that keeps it pushing and pulling just like the human body. And it's got some give to it. It's got some remorse to show you, on the skin. Whereas a direct drive or a rotary machine it's artificial, man. It's just fucking, it's got one direction to go and that's in. And it's no matter, like with a coil, man, you can tattoo like a rib or like a flabbier area, a more stretchier area compared to like a calf, and like it goes in much differently. You like have to add more stretch to the skin or whatever for it to actually work right. With the rotary, it don't matter where you're laying that thing, dude. It's going in. It goes in.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's going in.
Yeah,
It's blowing that
that's
shit out,
it.
dude. That's what's crazy about like rotary tattoos versus coil tattoos, right? Like, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I look at a 10-year-old coil tattoo. It looks almost identical as like a 5-year-old rotary tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like again,
what it is.
man, I feel
but
like those rotaries just put it in a little harder. They're putting more pigment into the skin than what a rotary or what a coil would. So with more pigment under that skin, is just it literally just suffocates the cells, the skin cells, to where it just kind of spreads a little faster over time. That's my opinion. I'm not no scientist or anything, but
I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
you know?
right,
Like,
dude.
But I mean, tattooing has definitely evolved a lot
Absolutely.
over the years, just in the short time I've been doing it. I mean, granted,
Yeah.
it's been 16 years,
Yeah,
but
dude.
still, dude.
And that's still no time, bro.
No,
like
none.
no time. My dad,
None.
he's like fucking almost 30 years in now. Some
Yeah.
shit like that. Dude, like I don't even want to be thinking
That's what I
about
try to
doing this
tell
30
people,
years
man.
in.
They're like, man, like, I'm not that good. Like, they beat themselves down. It's like, well, dude, like, how long you been
What
doing
was
it?
that
Like,
one
a
quote?
year, 2 years? Like,
There's a quote is shit.
it was
what
probably
it?
8 years before I even like felt like I was good.
10. I'd say easily 10
like,
before it actually things started clicking in a formula kind of manner for me, where I knew how to go about this in a comfortable manner and be confident. Confidence is, I feel like, the number one. It comes number one behind being a salesman. You got to sell yourself first. You got to be a salesman in order to sell yourself to fucking get somebody in your chair, and then you're that tattooer. But from there, dude, it's just confidence. You got to be confident. You can't second guess yourself. You can't hesitate, because the moment you start doing that, dude, it's a wrap, dude.
I think it has to do with where you work too, because I remember when I came here, I was very confident with my work. I felt very solid. But then working next to Steve and seeing like how his shit looked edited in person, looked so vibrant, I was like, all right, I'm definitely not there. I definitely need to.
Yeah. But dude, what's nice about like coming into a shop like here with you, working with you, is like we bounce off each other so well, and like our idea, it's like, hey, what about this? What do you think about that?
That's
And
what
we-
I enjoy about
like,
just a nice open shop as opposed to your like private studio stuff. I couldn't imagine working by myself. I don't work well that way, man. I like feeding off the energy of my coworkers, shit talking, shenanigans. But like color theory, dude. Like, oh, what do you think about me putting this teal next to this pink or whatever? And then, they'd be like, well, did you think about putting this next to this or whatever? And I'm like, yo, I never even thought about that. And then I do it and I'm like, that's a banger,
Yep.
Dude, well, that's what's so cool about your shop, Chazz, is you have so many different
Dude,
artists
I
who
think there's
specialize.
like 13 people, dude.
And
It's
they all
crazy.
specialize in different styles, bro. I feel like that's such like a wealth of information you can pull from. Like you have your new school artist, you have your black work artist right next to you.
Yeah, everyone kind of has their own flair and they bring it to the table.
Yeah,
I feel like
absolutely, dude.
as a collective, that like
And it seems
probably
like
helps artistically
Oh, yeah.
so much.
Dude, I go in expecting that day could be the end of my career, because everybody there does slap. And if I do a bad tat, I'm like, oh, there's my career. I don't want nobody to see
But that's
this,
good though, you're
Yeah,
always on
no,
top of
and
your
I'm a
game,
very
you don't
competitive person,
slack
so
and,
I'm
like,
gonna go in.
plateau.
I'm going in trying to do the best tat of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you ain't going to work with that mentality, then what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
You know, like
That's what's so nice about working with artists that bring you up on a level where you normally wouldn't have if you're in a private setting or,
Yeah.
doing that. I mean,
I mean, not in private. I mean, it might work for some people.
I
just
tried
not
it,
me,
dude.
you know?
I lasted.
Just sounds
before I hired
boring,
him,
bro.
like,
It's boring, dude.
it was awful, dude.
Yeah,
Like
a lot of talking to
going
yourself.
from like an open air shop where I had 8 other guys I was working with to like just by myself. It was like borderline depressing.
Even when I'm
no,
here
I believe
alone, even when I'm like tattooing like a Saturday and Steve isn't here, I'll probably call him like 5 or 6
know,
times just to hear his voice.
He's like, I get a text. He's like, I miss you.
I miss you. Aw.
Can you come up here and
That's
hang?
great.
Like, just FaceTime me just so I can look at you.
Like,
for a
you
little
gonna be
bit.
on the gaming later?
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I think it's important to be around other artists. Honestly,
Absolutely,
I mean,
dude.
not like you said, not knocking it if you're one of those people that
Hey,
can fucking do
like
it.
each their own, dude. Each
But-
their own. Some people, I guess, would do it just for their own comfortability, you know, their own safe space.
Yeah.
You know, I like to be in very uncomfortable spaces. The more uncomfortable I am, I can spread myself out and just be like, hey, I'm making myself comfortable here. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, the quote I was thinking. It takes 10 years to be a doctor, you know, but a lifetime to be a good tattoo artist. Like it takes an entire lifetime to just master this craft, dude. And like you were saying, 16, 17 years, dude, I still feel like a rookie sometimes, dude.
Same,
like
dude.
for real.
Big
And it's
time.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an awkward person as it is, you know, and I'll be setting up for my stuff, blah, 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 or forget stuff as I'm tatting. And I'm like, I promise I know what I'm doing. You know, I feel silly in front of my client, you know.
Yeah, you're like, I swear, I know. I've done this 100 fucking times.
Done it
but-
100
yeah.
times, dude.
But even, being 16 years in, I in no way, shape, or form
I'm still not
like think I am done.
no,
learning.
not at all, man.
And I love learning. I love
that's me.
improving. There's always something I'm learning.
the
whether
moment I
it's
quit
through,
learning,
like,
the moment I'm going to
iPad
get
or,
bored
like,
with it, honestly,
just the
because
tattooing
I
itself,
was
yeah.
definitely that kid that in class, like if you was teaching me something that I already knew, like I was bored with it. I didn't even care. Like, you know, same with tattooing. Like I said, like what you see on my page isn't necessarily all I can give you, you know, like I do portraits, I do Japanese, I do anything, and I can do it comfortably and confident. It's just the upbringing, you know.
So speaking of like new technology and people trying to like adapt, have you guys like dabbled in AI art at all to help your tattoos or like work on your tattoos?
I haven't.
I ain't gonna
personally-
fucking lie, dude. I have.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah. I
for
got
me,
a good buddy who
I
swears by it, dude,
Dude,
and I'm
I-
like, and I see his tats, and I'm like, hey, man, it fucking
you
works
know,
for you.
if you're one of those guys that fucking does AI,
I
and
use
prints that
Google and
shit-
Pinterest
All
anyways,
right, well,
you
hold
know,
on.
like for
if
reference.
you do it and you fucking tattoo it exactly how it is with the 6 to 9 fingers that's on that motherfucker.
That's just my style.
Yeah,
bro.
you're a little ignorant,
just my
you know. But
style.
like for me, I use it quite often.
Yeah.
you know, I use it with my lady faces because I'm not gonna like
Yeah.
go out of my way to like pull up
No.
a model. Like Kat Von D just got sued for that
Yes,
shit. So
she
we're walking on
did,
thin
dude.
ice, dude. But you know, I superimpose and I drop the opacity, so I kind of use it more for like
Skeletal
the overall
structure.
composition
Yeah.
and like proportions and all
Yeah.
that. Whereas, like, I'm not copying.
That's exactly how I design,
Yeah.
dude. Like, I'll find something that fits my subject matter. I'll slap it on there, drop that opacity, and I'll use it as just a skeletal structure of, I know this looks right.
Yeah.
You know? And that's where I see a lot of people kind of drop the ball with their work, dude. Is like, I get it, you're an artist, okay? That's cool, you know? But your shit doesn't look right. Like it looks
Yeah.
off. It's well executed, but it looks off, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just all a matter of proportions. Things fall where they're supposed to fall. And if they don't, even if you try to go, like you see people like Mr. Wrath, dude. Mr. Wrath is a badass, dude. And he knows how all his like Panthers, Eagles, Hanyas, whatever works, you know, so he can tweak these things and make them really elaborate and just like melted together or whatever, and really just not exactly what that image is, but all those proportions are still there and it looks right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
dude.
composition plays
Composition
a big part,
definitely
you
plays a
know?
big part.
And like the flow of things and using the S form with
reinventing
working
the
with
tattoo, man.
Yeah,
Guy
Guy
Atchison's
Atchison, yeah,
book,
dude, yeah.
reinventing
Yep.
1 and 2.
like following muscle lines on the body is very
absolutely.
important because you can have something that looks good and cuts over this way, but you flip that
I feel that
motherfucker,
even works with trad tats.
It
in a
does.
way,
It works
dude.
with
It really
everything, dude.
does. Like where
and
you drop
flip it,
things in. Yeah.
Believe it or not, between the two, that other one's gonna look fucked up because it doesn't follow
Absolutely.
the natural
Yep.
form of the body.
Yep.
And that's very important in tattooing.
It really is, man. And I've found over my years of tattooing that I'd say like 9 times out of 10 when people want to cover up a tattoo, and even that is a bad tattoo or is a poor decision, is placement. It looks out of place. It doesn't fit the area that they're wanting it to fit, you know, like bicep tattoos where it'll fall like people have a tattoo fall in between like the ball of the shoulder of their muscle
like
and
the
they're like their
deltoid muscle
bicep and
there,
it'll just fall in between
Yep.
there and it just sits awkwardly,
Just
you
warps
know.
the face too.
Yeah, man, you know.
Yeah, especially if you do any type of face or
Oh,
anything.
yeah,
It's
it'll
very
walk
important
it.
that you like,
There's, you know,
and like people's physique too plays a
Yes.
major role in that. Like,
it really does.
you know, I have someone that is like average build come in versus someone that's like super ripped. I'm gonna do that tattoo differently between those two
absolutely.
people because
Yeah.
that deltoid muscle and whatever can really warp.
It really
whatever you're
can.
working on. Yeah, and I think Guy Atchison actually touched on that.
Yeah.
Recently about like muscles and following certain muscle lines.
Oh, really?
With people that are more muscular. Yeah.
Yeah. I know that he touched on everything
Yeah.
in that
Dude,
book,
that
dude.
motherfucker.
Like I remember, all right.
That
So
shit
one of the
changed the
things
game back in
that
the day,
really
man.
still sticks with me from reading that book was knowing how you have a good stretch on the skin. You know, you have your stretch hand, you stretch that skin. When you put that needle in the skin, if you feel a nice vibration through your stretch hand, then you've got it stretched to the proper, and that needle is dropped into the proper depth of the skin. You know, if you feel that vibration, if you don't feel that vibration in your stretch hand, then it's not hitting where it should be, and you don't have that skin stretched.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and I even like Kayla, like my wife that I apprenticed, I told her that.
Yeah.
Like, tattooing is a feeling.
it really
it
is.
really is. Like you can almost close your eyes and put the needle to skin and feel the proper depth,
yes,
the proper
absolutely.
the way your machine's running, the proper voltage, all
Yep.
of that. I remember for the longest time I used a power supply that didn't even have a voltage.
I just
readout.
came off the pin machines, the wireless. Like I used it for about a year just to try it, you know, and see if it was something for me. It's a tool, man. It works for what it works for. People love it, and some people hate it, whatever. Some people don't even want to try it for what it is because they're so stuck in their ways. But me, I love trying new things. I love anything to make my work better or me better as a person or a service provider. Like I'm gonna do it, you know.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to be ignorant where I'm try it one tattoo or try it for a week and be like, that's not for me. I tried it for a solid year. It did everything that I needed it to do. It put it in. It just, on my end, I felt like I had to work a little harder on my end to achieve it as opposed to my Cubans, dude. I set that thing on the skin. That machine runs on its own. Like it'll take off running on its own. I just guide
Like a
it.
self-propelled lawnmower,
I just
dude.
guide it where it needs to go. Yeah, it just felt like I had to put a little extra work into it, and I have no idea where I was going with that.
God damn it.
Damn it.
All right, let me.
My bad.
I'll pick it up. So going on the machines, like trying different machines.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I used the rotary.
Yeah.
I had another guy who was like, "Hey, here, try this fucking Neotat."
Yeah.
It was the Vivace or Vivis. Or
I remember
whatever.
those, and I tried
And
that.
I did one tat. I was like, "No,
Yeah.
not for me." And I was using the original box Neotat at the time.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't for me. So
Yeah.
the tool, like,
Dude, I
Who
mean,
cares?
it's all
All the-
tools, man. All of it's tools.
At the
dude.
end of
From
the day,
the
like,
iPad to anything, it's all tools, dude.
can you do a good tattoo?
That's
with
it.
That's it.
What-
I don't
what
give a
helps
fuck
you
if
get
you
to a
tattoo with your
nice-
feet with a fucking handmade machine that you
Dude,
got
there's still
fucking
people out
parts
there
from
just hand
Uncle
poking.
Bill Bob,
They're
whatever.
hand
But
poking, and they're doing killer tats,
Yeah.
bro. And I'm like,
Even
hey,
that, who
whatever,
cares?
man.
Yeah.
I mean, I like trying whatever. I tried using the pin for a while. Used it for a solid year because I didn't want to be ignorant to just trying it one time or trying it for a week and being like, oh, that's not for me. Tried it for a whole year, man, and I just felt like for me it just caused more work. You know, like I felt like I had to push a little harder, or it'd take an extra half hour longer or an hour longer than what I would typically do with one of my Cubans, man. But
so with the Cubans, do you line with the Cubans?
I
And
line
shade with them?
and shade with the
You
Cubans.
do both.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, dude, like those things are monsters, man. I get shit done in half the time, man. Honestly, I should up my hourly rate because of it, because I'd be slamming tats out quick, bro.
I saw
Hell yeah,
I saw a beautiful like tiger rose on Skylar's leg. And
Yes.
he said took you like an hour. And that thing
Dude,
was
I love
huge,
that tat. He tried to
saturated.
get me to do that thing chrome, man. I'm so happy I
like
talked him
everyone's
out of
trying to
that.
get you to do
Everybody
everything
tries to get
chrome.
me. I mean, because I do it well, man, and I can't
You
knock it.
created that for yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
And I wanted
But-
to ask, dude, like that first time you did a chrome tattoo, did it just take off for you like that same
Dude,
day?
honestly, yeah, it's
you
wild.
actually did that on my friend
Jared,
Jared.
yeah. And honestly, like whenever he wasn't even apprenticing or nothing, dude, he was just getting tatted, and I was helping him out. Like, I'm not a gatekeeper. You ask the right questions, and I see you have that ambition, that drive, or something that I can see that can be beneficial to tattooing. I'm gonna help you out. I'm like, hit my DMs, like I'll help you out. He was getting tattooed, and you and Ariel had just opened up or over here, and
The downtown shop?
Yeah, and I was like, look, man, I was like, because he was living down in St. Pete too. I was up in Wesley Chapel at the time, and it was a little too far of a drive for him. I didn't even own the shop, and I was like, I can't give you an apprenticeship. I don't have that kind of bearings, I was like, but go check these guys out, man. I'm like, if you want to learn the right way, go check these guys out. And sure enough, you took him on as an apprentice, which is tight, man. 'Cause he's killing it now. And
that's crazy. So yeah, he came to you.
yeah,
for
dude.
the
I was
first one,
doing get what you gets. They had it stupidly priced cheap, dude, and I was tired of fucking doing them. So I was like, fuck it. If I'm gonna do them, I'm gonna do them, and I'm gonna have fun doing them. So no matter what you got out there, an umbrella, devil head, shark, whatever, it's like $80. I was just getting chrome, dude. I wasn't asking you what color
whole
you
thing
want. The whole
solid
thing
chrome.
solid chunk of chrome.
so dope.
And then he hits me up. He's like, yo, I love that chrome stuff you're doing. I want to get a Panther. I was like, well, speaking of, I've got one drawn up, and it's where it's like somebody just took a cup and poured the chrome over the Panther, and it's just dripping over it. And he was like, that sounds great. Let's run it. So I did it. I posted it that day, dude. And I'm telling you, overnight, it had like 20,000 likes on it. Fucking like 20, 30 different tat page, like prestigious tat pages shared it, and it just skyrocketed, man. And now
since we are in the digital era, right? So touch on that.
yeah.
Before this post, like what would you say your average like count would have been?
Dude, fucking 80.
80 likes,
100
and it
likes,
just-
bro.
it just popped
Maybe
off
the
like
most
that.
I'd have like 200-300 likes, and then
20K, that's
yeah,
fucking wild,
crazy,
dude.
bro. I was, and that was that. Oh shit, that night.
Swallow the
Yeah,
thing, don't you?
that night. I had to shut off my notifications,
Wow.
like to Instagram,
Damn.
like because like it was just ching, 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 and it's like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm like, dude, fuck this thing, dude. And I turned off
So
my
that was like
notifications.
the pivotal,
Yeah,
like turning
that was
point
it,
with that
man.
shit,
It was
huh?
just Chrome of all things, dude. Because
Yeah.
I remember, dude, I didn't invent Chrome. I didn't. Actually, Randy Randerson out in Oklahoma, what was it? Monday Malarkey, dude.
I love
fuck
that guy.
He'd already, man, he was doing his thing with the
That
Chrome.
motherfucker
and I
changed
loved
the
it.
game
Yo,
with memes
he's
and tattoo
fucking
memes,
great, dude. Actually,
Fuck,
because
bro.
of him, I
dip
started
and
a
rip
meme
shit.
page, and it lasted like 6 months before that shit got 86. It was like,
Yeah.
I was posting some
You ain't
wild
Randy.
shit. No, not at all. And man, like he was doing it, and I feel like he was like one of the only really people in the country really like doing it and people seeking him for it. And I wasn't trying to bite him or nothing, but I was like, man, dude, I remember whenever in the 90s, dude, I was 8-10 years old. I was hanging out in my dad's shop, dude. All these dudes are like wizards, bearded, wearing leather vests and fucking riding choppers and shit,
All
doing
chromed out.
bomb ass tats, dude, and making bank doing it. And I just remember it was just an effect that, they would offer a client if it was feasible for the subject matter that they was getting, and be like, oh, well, if you want that, we do an extra $100 or $50 or whatever it is. And it was just a little upsell. And dude, I was just doing it for fun, shits and giggles, man, and fucking that shit took off, dude. And I was just out of everything that I'd done, like everything, all the styles I touched on, throughout my career. Because I used to think I was going to be a new school artist. I thought I was going to be next Joe Capobianca, bro. That's what I really strive
New
to be.
school is what
Either
got
that
me
or
into
Paul
tattooing.
Booth. Man, Paul Booth was the guy back then. Bob Tyrell, Edward
dude.
Lee. Like, speaking back on the Flash stuff, Edward Lee was probably my favorite Flash stuff,
Yeah,
like
Ed
of
Lee, dude.
all.
Fuck, man.
And I never tattooed none of it. So if any of y'all listen, go Google Edward Lee tattoo Flash, and if you see anything you want tattooed off that, bring it to me, please.
Man, I low key want to like put up a flash rack in
Do
the
it,
shop
dude.
again.
It
You know,
wouldn't
just
hurt.
something small.
It wouldn't
you
hurt,
know?
man.
Why
It like
not?
it wouldn't
'Cause
hurt.
you can still buy
at
that
all.
shit online.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm more into like I've been collecting acetates, dude. Like I got a bunch of like Paul Rogers acetates,
you?
like the acetate stencils, and I got a couple Owen
shit.
Jensen stencils, a Sailor Jerry stencil, Roy Minaw, dude.
Man,
like
have you, so
history to
have
me
you
for
been-
tattooing has been key, dude.
It's
like
so important,
yeah, I
dude.
feel like.
Have you been to Lucky's yet?
Yes,
The museum?
yes. I just got tattooed by Mike Wilson there
Yeah.
at the
No
new
shit.
museum a couple months
Was
ago.
he guest
dude.
spotting there? And-
Yeah,
yeah?
man.
Fuck
He's such
yeah.
a good guy. I love
Yeah, if you
Mike
guys
so
haven't
much.
been there yet, definitely go check
Dude,
it out. Lucky's
check-
Museum in Largo.
Yes.
It is worth the drive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the amount of
Anytime I'm
history they have-
tattooing a tattooer, which I tattoo a lot of tattooers, you know, from elsewhere around the world, country, whatever. And that's the first thing I tell them. Like, you've been to the Lucky's Museum? They're like, no, I didn't even know. I was like, well, you need to make time to
Yeah.
go to see the Lucky's Museum. Like,
Yeah, and now that they like moved all to the warehouse,
Yeah.
they actually have the tat room, and they actually have like an
get a
apartment.
machine shop,
They
all of
actually
it,
have like an
right
apartment
there.
there. If you come
yeah,
guest spot,
yeah,
you can stay
absolutely,
there with them.
yeah.
It's fucking really
Jimmy,
tight,
dude, he's a purveyor. He loves
I know,
the
man.
history, dude, and he's salvaging all of it. I guarantee what he has. I couldn't imagine because I know all the stuff that he has up in that museum,
is only a
which is all
sliver.
bangers, which is a sliver. I bet he's got boxes of stuff, dude.
I talked to him. This is 7 months ago, but yeah, he was like, "Yeah, this is like a
Yeah, I
fraction
could
of
only
what I have."
imagine, dude. He's hoarding it all, bro. He's hoarding
You
it
know,
all.
he's got
man.
the golden tickets
Yeah.
at home.
What
you
is
know,
it?
but-
Mike Skyver? I could be saying his last name wrong, man. Back in the day, had a dope museum that burned down, and like, man, there was a lot of history
That's
that
so
was
sad, dude.
torched, bro.
Damn.
And it was sad. It was really sad. My homie Leif Hansen up in Greenville, North Carolina, fucking Great Wolf Tattoo, banger of a shop, like trad shop, dude. Like you walk in, your hair stands up on your arms because you feel the electricity in the air from all the tats that's been banged out of this shop. Which whenever he got it, and it was already a tattoo shop. You know, he I think he mentored, or maybe I don't know, from the guy who owned it originally. But you walk in, you have that feeling like thousands of tattoos have been done here, and they have been done well. You know. But he's like borderline little. He's got a little museum happening there, dude. He's got a bunch of bangers. He just got tattooed by Philip Blue like last year.
Oh,
Dude,
damn,
Philip
really?
Blue he's a tad god.
Yeah.
Like honestly, bro,
That
he's a tad
did you
god.
listen to that podcast recently?
No, dude, everybody's been telling me about
You
it, and
gotta
I just
listen to
haven't
it,
found
dude.
the opportunity to do
What's
so.
funny is, so Philip Blue's been tattooing for, God, 40, almost 50
Dude,
years now.
he's
so,
been doing it since he was like 12.
yeah, and he touches on things that are relevant to tattooing today.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's
I've
like,
gotta
wow,
look at
dude,
it.
like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, you're this guy that's out of
He comes
mountains.
from
like-
generational
yeah.
tattooer family,
Like,
dude. I
and
think
you see eye to eye on all the issues in tattooing that
Yeah.
are still happening. To
Dude,
today.
this fool, he said the only way that he could communicate with Philip was through postage mail. You know, no emails, no social media, no phone calls,
So
mail, bro, snail
crazy,
mail.
dude.
All right, he went out there to, I don't even remember what country it was, but he
I think
ended
it's
up Switzerland, Sweden,
I think
Switzerland,
Sweden.
one of the
It's
other, one of
definitely
the,
that.
it's
It's Sweden or
Swiss something.
Switzerland. Yeah. Yeah.
But he said he had to take a bus in the middle of nowhere and then hike like 10 miles up this fucking mountain to get to there. And like, bro, you earned that shit.
Right?
And I'm talking like big tat, dude, like butt, hip, fucking down to his knee, whole side thigh. He said knocked it out in like 45 minutes, an hour. I'm like, get out of here,
No
bro.
way.
This is wild, dude.
Damn,
He
bro.
said, yeah, man, he's a big shovel man. Just wah, 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 wah. It was wild,
That's
man.
so
He's a
crazy,
wizard,
dude.
bro. He's
But
a wizard.
Guy Atchison actually has a shop like that too out in
Middle of
is it
nowhere.
Oregon or
Yeah,
Washington.
middle
one
of
or two?
nowhere, dude.
It's
On a
so
little
beautiful,
compound, dude.
Like,
It's
over
tight.
like giant fucking
That's
windows
beautiful.
overlooking the mountains and
Dude,
stuff.
honestly, that's dude. I
like you
strive.
find that zen, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
I strive to
love
be
that.
able to live off of my work without the use of social media. I mean, one day, I mean, if you're not striving for that, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, social media is such a headache. It really is. It's a great tool. I wouldn't be where I am without it today. You know, I don't think half the tattooers today would be where they are without it today. But like, man, to be able to strive or live and survive off of just word of mouth, I feel like that's that highest tier of just tat awesomeness.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy out in Chicago named Bunny, doesn't have an Instagram. There's a hashtag that either the shop created for him or his clients, but it's called Bunny doesn't Instagram or Bunny don't Instagram, whatever. But he does full bodysuits of just bangers, bro, and no social media at all.
And just it's on
It's
there
great,
on the hashtag,
bro.
and
It's
he's
so
not.
such
It's everyone
good
else
work,
posting
man.
for him.
Big full
Damn.
body Japanese bodysuits, and I'm just like, man, this guy, he's living life.
Damn, bro. Man, I wish.
Doesn't have to wait or get those 10, 15 DMs. Oh,
Dude,
God,
man.
dude, I hate the DM box. It gives me so much anxiety.
Yeah, like even you today, like talking about how you had to like run a sponsored ad on Instagram. It's like it's kind of like the pay to play thing now.
Oh, yeah, no. And, dude, oddly enough, so what is it? Like, the algorithm is you'll get 3%.
It's like
or
it's
something
about
like that.
1%
7%,
now.
something
It's
like
less
that.
than that. I
It's
looked it up.
less
I
than
was
that,
like,
yeah.
what's because I'm like
Of
my
your
engagement.
followers, you know, and
Yeah.
that's of your followers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I got 55,000 followers, dude, and you mean only 3% is going to see it unless I throw some money towards
Yeah.
sponsors? Like, man, like that's
Well, that's where I fucked up, dude. I
that's
took
where
the-
I mean that's where they make their money, though, dude. I mean, it's a free thing. Like that's complain about it all you want. Like I get it, but like it's a free thing that they're giving you to use, and it is a beneficial tool to reach everybody. It's free advertisement essentially, unless you do pay for it, you know.
Yeah.
But when you pay for it, you're not even reaching new followers or anybody new. They're just showing more of your followers your stuff, you know. That's what I found with it, at least whenever I used it.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like once you start paying for it, they can like tell, and then they make it even harder for you to naturally, organically reach people because they know you're gonna like do it.
They're like,
again
oh
and
yeah,
again.
this motherfucker's gonna
Yeah.
throw down some dimes.
Oh,
yeah.
let's make it to where he
So-
has to keep throwing fucking money.
damn.
in.
Yeah, I
that's
definitely felt
shitty.
a drop
I
off.
I noticed that too. Like before with like the algorithm, when I started promoting myself and paying for promotions, I noticed when I didn't, there was like drop off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
sucks.
Because
I mean,
you're
but-
only getting a portion of the percentage of followers that they're showing.
You are,
know?
yeah. It says you might get X amount, but
Yeah.
you know,
What is shit? To touch on that, like I just man, social media is such a double-edged sword. It really is.
It's
like I
bittersweet.
love it.
It really
I
is.
love it. I love it. It. Like I said, I wouldn't be where I am in tattooing without it. But man, it's a job in itself.
exhausting,
It's a
dude.
job in itself. Do you use the
because now, hey, guess what? We're tattooers, but now we gotta be videographers.
Yeah.
We gotta be.
And that goes back
Like-
to what I was saying. You got to be a salesman first. You got to sell yourself
Yep.
in order to get people in the chair. Once you got people in the chair, then you're the tattoo artist. You know what I'm saying? But first foremost, you're a salesman.
Yep.
You have to sell it. But do you use your insights at all? Like
yeah.
as far
Yeah.
like I have an alarm on my phone set at 2:55 p.m. because all throughout the week, apparently my insights is like my followers or whatever most likely have their faces dove in their phones at 3 p.m. So, and I forgot to post today.
Yeah, that's the one thing. So like with your Instagram, you go on your insights. If you don't have a business account, make it a business
Yeah,
account,
make it
and
a
then
business
you can go
account
on.
for sure.
Your,
Like
you
you're
can-
slipping if it ain't a business account because
Yeah,
it
you
gives
need
you
it
all
because
the tools you need.
It tells you who your followers are,
Yep.
your demographics,
Demographic,
age,
all of it.
gender,
Yep.
where they're at, what time to post, what day to
Yeah,
post.
absolutely,
like all of it,
dude.
And it, I
And-
mean, it does help when you do post because
I
I've tried to
tattooed
post
a couple
outside those times, and it doesn't work as well.
what is it? Social media managers. A couple years back, I tattooed
Did you?
like 2 or 3 of these motherfuckers like back to back to back, dude. And I was just asking them questions about it. You know, apparently with Instagram, there's like you have to put at least 5 stories a day. 5 stories a day, just in your stories, you know, which is easy. You can share your music, meme, whatever, dude. Selfie of yourself, whatever. Then you got to do, what was it? It was 5 posts like picture posts, like just pictures, whatever, your slideshow, whatever.
Not reels or anything.
Not
like
reels.
That, right? Okay.
And then 3 reels throughout the week. So you're having to do at least 8 posts within a 7-day week. And then 5 stories a day. Bro, that's a full-time job,
right?
bro.
Yeah, so you might as well. So, well, you should probably take story photo of each tattoo.
Yep,
Or
that's what
a
I do.
video
Yep.
of each tattoo, maybe a reel, like
Yep.
so videographer.
Yep.
You know, video the process of you tattooing. That's why I started.
A
doing
couple
it, where,
cute
like,
selfies.
A new tool that I found with their reels, they're giving you a tool to see the attention span on these reels. So you can go into your insight, and if you got an 11-second reel up, you can see where people start dropping off with
like
their
through it,
attention
like,
span.
where
And
they click
honestly,
next.
bro, I'm telling you, average, most people only have a 3 seconds.
3 seconds?
3 seconds. It's telling you, dude, because
That's
I've even posted reels as short as like 5-6 seconds. 3 seconds in is a hard drop, bro. And that's what I find with like these fucking ignorant style people, dude. You know, it might be trash tats, whatever, scratcher looking tats, but if it's something simple, it's easily recognizable
The brain
within a split
registers
second
and-
of a scroll. You got that hard over top of it, and that's what's sad, man. Because you use full body suits, man, full back pieces, full sleeves that are elaborate.
But they're those
Many
pieces that
hundreds
you
of-
have to spend.
Yeah, you have to spend
30,
a minute.
40 seconds looking at
Yeah,
them to really
absolutely,
like take it
dude.
all in.
And nobody's gonna take that
Yeah.
time sitting on the toilet, you know, to
I mean,
look
it makes
at that.
sense because you
know?
look at those ignorant
I do.
styles.
I
where,
do that.
You
know,
know,
but
you'll see a fucking back piece by fucking Nick Baxter.
yeah, Nick
that has
Baxter. That was the guy
500
back then.
likes, and then you'll have this ignorant fucking Jesus riding a fucking unicorn that looks
Crazy.
like a 3-year-old did it. That
Dude,
has
double
half a
line.
million
There's
likes on
3
it.
double lines.
Yeah,
What the fuck am I looking at? Half of it's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
fall
but that
out.
makes sense, dude. Like the brain
But
registers.
your
it and-
brain registers what it is click, quick, clean, like very legible, you know, and within the split second of that scroll, fucking, oh, that looks cool, heart, and then on to the next, dude. Like before they even scroll on to that next, you're already forgot about.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, unless they take the time to actually save your stuff, dude. Which oddly enough, Instagram, apparently they're more saved. Like you got to have people save your stuff like in a folder or whatever it is
Yeah.
that they're
Oh,
doing,
that's
as
I've heard
opposed
that
to
like
just
me up or
liking or
whatever.
commenting.
I've heard
and-
likes don't even matter anymore.
yeah, no, it
Yeah.
apparently doesn't even matter no more. Which, you know, I've got tats, dude, that's got saved hundreds of times, and I'm just like, that's gonna get stolen so much, dude. And dude, you could Google Chrome Panther or whatever, dude, and if it's not me, it's my work done really badly
yeah.
by somebody else. It's so crazy, dude.
Have you had that?
Oh,
happen?
dude.
I'm sure. There's no way it
almost
hasn't.
every Panther that I've done has been ripped more than once.
Has it been
Yeah.
ripped good
Wow.
yet?
No, they have not been ripped good, but I've had
Jonathan, you wanna get
had
on to it?
people who has definitely taken the formula that I've laid out there, and they've made it their own and killed it, dude. You know, like
With the, like, the
there was
chrome and all
Jason
that?
Barassi up in you know Jason.
Oh yeah,
right?
he just opened Hypervale.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
up in Kentucky, he did one, and it was a fucking banger, bro.
Yeah,
and
dude,
I was
that
like,
guy is so
damn,
fucking
I'm gonna
nice.
steal that, dog. I'm gonna steal that myself. I've had so many of mine stolen. I'm gonna start stealing y'all's.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, shit. I think I've had a couple tattoos stolen, but they're
I
always
don't get
bad,
mad
dude.
about it. I don't even care, dude.
You
I'm
know,
like,
I'm-
whatever, man. That means
think
I'm doing
I'm-
something right. I'm doing something right. If I'm doing something cool enough for you to want to go out of your way and just steal, then
Yeah.
I'm doing something right, dude. Like I
I
don't
used
even
to get bent
butthurt.
over backwards over it.
I
but
did
now,
too.
But now I'm only upset because it's like usually really poorly done.
Yeah,
And I'm like, damn, man, you
Yeah.
could have slayed that at least.
yeah, I know.
I
What
used to
find-
get really upset, and now it's like, what? I'm more flattered,
The
if anything.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
completely 100% flattering, dude. What I find the funniest is, dude, I did all the work. You know,
You laid it
I
out for
drew
'em.
it. I picked all the colors out. I colored it in and showed you how to do it. But you fumbled all of it.
Yeah.
You know, like how did you do that? You didn't even use similar colors,
Yeah.
bro.
But I mean, when the sun goes down, your client still got the
Still
best version.
stoked.
Of
Yeah,
that.
man.
I mean, that's That's what really matters.
Yeah.
But,
Absolutely.
I mean, you look at Flash in
But
itself.
all
like,
of it's been stolen,
it's all
dude. I
been
don't care how
stolen, dude.
creative you are or how original you're trying to be. Somewhere, someone somewhere, whether it's on skin, on canvas, it's been done before. Whatever subject matter you're thinking of that is the most creative out of the box thing, it's been done before, man. Like I don't know, man. Tattooing's been built off the backs of sharing information, sharing. Like Sailor Jerry back in the day, he would communicate with people through letters and stuff, and he would send them drawings of like clipper ships or little sparrows or whatever, and he would ask them, you know, if you happen to tattoo this, send me a photograph. Let me see how you did it. You send it back, and if you did not fix those corrections because you didn't know what the fuck he was doing, he would cut you off, like cut you off, dude. Like, yeah, you ain't even worth my time, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think I like how open the because dude, back in the day, man, information on this and how to be good at it was so seldom, dude. Like nobody was sharing.
When I started, it was like the internet kind of really wasn't. You didn't really use it for anything. Like I remember going to the library to pull reference.
Oh, same, bro.
And like like going in books and like art, like actual like painters books and like looking up reference.
I remember buying
books, photos,
you know, and then getting home and like really going through and trying and like, you know, I'm going through them. I'm like, oh, this could work. And then I go to fucking, you know, trace it out or whatever for the area. And I'm like, fuck, this doesn't fit at all or whatever. And I wasted all this money on these books for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now, dude. Yeah. I mean, the information is just it's
right I love it. I feel like there should be a sense of gatekeeping to an extent, but like, man, I love the way we're going right now. I love how diversified tattooing is, you know, like you got all walks of life in this thing expressing themselves and wearing it all on their sleeves, literally, you know? Totally. And
I think for me, like what I see with tattooing is I just want people to not have egos. I mean, that's one of the biggest ones, dude. Especially if you're like a younger tattooer, like that should not be a thing. And then the other thing is just like, I mean, just be friendly with people. Like you don't have to really. Like,
I've worked with people who would make clients, or even just walk-in client, whatever, dude, feel like a burden. Like they would just not be smiling, just fucking very kind of passively aggressive, like they're wasting their time, dude. And I'm like, bro, like if you didn't feel like doing nothing, I would have happily done whatever the fuck that was with a smile. Like really, it made me $80, $100, $200, whatever.
Like without this person, you're not making money.
Yeah,
like that.
You
person,
remember the walk-in, like, or what is it? Dude, the walk-in rotation. You know,
the rotation.
First ones, bro. I hated that shit so much, man. Because I was that guy, dude. But I was never the first one in the shop ever, dude. I'm a late riser. I stay up all night. But you know, dude, you have 2-3 people in front of you, and none of these motherfuckers are really trying to do nothing, dude. Sometimes you gotta step a toe, bro, and be like, yo, like, hey, you know, you've already had 3 chances on walk-ins, and you was a dick, dude. I'm cutting in front of you, like, fuck you, bro.
Okay. Like, there was one time I remember it was this artist I was working with passed these walk-ins. You know, I hate infinity knots. So I did them, and then like this banger would walk in and be like, "Oh, I got that one." I'm like, "Of course, dude."
You can't pick and choose like that, man. Which I'm so happy. I'm kind of at a point where I can kind of cherry pick what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I hate to say it, but you know.
But really, I think as like artists, it's up to us to guide people. Because most clients, I mean, they're not.
You can lead them to water. You can't make them drink it. You know?
I mean, they don't know art like we do. Yeah. So, like, I think it's important that we like do that for them. And like tell them, like, yeah, this isn't a good idea, or this isn't going to work, or whatever. Yeah. And tell them what is going to work.
That's it, man. Like, if it was all up to clients, dude, there'd be some bunk walking around. I mean, and there is, and you know, and with the power of social media, dude. You wake up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, you sit on that thing. Within the first 10 minutes, you've done scrolled through hundreds of the best tattooers, putting out the best work all over the world. It baffles me people still get bad tattoos. I'm like, how do you go out of your way to get a bad tattoo? Like it's right there in your hand, accessible every day to schedule an appointment with a good tattooer. I guess it's finance, budget. I don't
It's
know what
gotta
it
be.
is,
I
man.
mean, yeah.
Ignorance. I mean,
I don't
feel like
know.
a
that
lot of
ignorant
people-
style.
I do
it's
see
called
that though,
ignorant
where
style.
I'll see like a tattoo posted and it's like,
Yeah.
I
but
really
then
feel
like all the
people's-
comments are like, this is fucking great.
You're
Oh
the
my
only
God,
one
dude."
who will ever tattoo me.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I'm like, you born under a rock, dude?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I think the other type of clientele are just
living
the
under
ones
a
who
rock?
just want just coverage. They don't care what they have. They just want to.
I can understand that
tattooed.
though, man, because I'm kind of at that point with getting tattooed myself. I got 75-80% of my body tattooed, and at this point, like especially when it comes to my inner thighs, dude, I want big tattoos done, but do it in 15 minutes.
Right.
I don't care
Give me
how
the
pretty it
fastest
looks. Just
motherfucker
cover
out
it,
there.
dude.
Yeah.
Just cover the
I feel
skin.
like it's like people with like black work stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, like you get people that aren't covering up stuff.
No.
Garbage. Like
Oh
that
my
was
God,
what you
dude.
used. Like
Blackouts.
Philip Liu talked on that.
Really?
Where he was like, you used to get black work to cover up
Yeah.
unsavable shit.
Yes, that's
But now
it.
people are getting black
Like
work on
right off the
blank
rip,
shit.
dude. Like blank
Yeah.
arm, not a tattoo on their entire body. I'm gonna black out both my arms. Hey man, like that's a commitment. Like that's a big commitment to just jump into. I feel like you ain't earned it at that point, dude. Like, dude, you gotta get a bunch of trash tats first, and then you
black it
cover
out.
it,
Yeah.
dude. You know, at least live with some trash first, man.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
Philip Liu said. He said people just want to be heavily tattooed, but they don't want to commit to anything. So they
And
just
that
black
makes
it out.
sense, man. Because I talked to this Japanese tattooer that did Tabori, and he lines Tabori and he shades Tabori, and I was like, so what did I ask him? I was like, so you line and shade with Tabori? He's like, not here in America, no. He's like in Japan, he's like, Tabori, I'll do line and shade. He's like, but you Americans don't have the patience for the lining and shading. So he lines with machines here, and then Tabori shades it in. And I could see that, man. Everybody's on a go. Everybody's in that rat race. Go, 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 go. Everybody's faces, you walk by, drive by, it's all blurred, dude, by the end of the night,
Yeah.
And, spending too much time, you ain't getting it back, Personally, I just want to be tattooed at this point,
know, yeah.
I've already got my good tats. I've got my bad tats. I just want to be done at this point. I just want to be finished. I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah,
Tattooing
totally, dude.
sucks.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, dude. Like, you think like on tattooing and like blacking out your shit, like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
mean,
and I've been recently thinking about blacking out my right arm, and I'm just like, man, but do I really want to do that? I know that it won't take too much time, like unless it's got to be double layered or whatever, which I'm sure, is probably going to.
shit, do you see those guys? They run those fucking shovels,
Dude,
like
shovels,
saturated.
115, 150 mags. I don't understand it, dude. I don't know how they get solid
I
saturation
don't
with
know
it.
either.
Because,
I mean, the biggest mag I've ever used, like 27.
Yeah, me
I
too.
can work it pretty
but
well.
even
but
on
like,
the outer edges,
Yeah.
man, I feel like it's because I use curves. I use curved mags. I don't use flat mags. And on a bigger curve mag, originally when these things were designed, it was for your softer edges.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's when bigger mags like 25s, whenever they was first introduced to the market, man, that's what it was for softer edges, softer looks, not for color packing for sure, and don't get me wrong, I could pack with them now, but even still, like, I'm going over it more than once. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to if I use a 15 mag, dude, I'm getting everything in that thing one pass.
yeah, one
like
and done. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, talking on that, like, fuck, dude, like the hours people get tattooed is just
hundreds of hours, dude.
I fucking hate getting
You
tattooed.
know Steve Farrell?
Yeah, I know
Steve
Steve.
Farrell,
Yeah,
dude?
I've been friends with
Full
him.
body suit.
God,
I've
dude,
done
that
quite a
motherfucker went hard for a long
hard,
time. Long
bro.
time. Like,
Hard, man.
Yeah,
And
I tattooed
He's
him.
done. He's done now, and I'm
yeah,
like,
I actually
"Rad."
tattooed him at my very first convention I ever worked. I did a new
Nice.
school fucking.
You know,
panda
that's
on him.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. I
And
did.
a lot of the pieces I did on
The first
were new
tattoo
school,
I did
yeah.
on him was at Ever After, and that's what he was telling me. He's
Yep.
telling me that
Yeah,
you did
dude.
some stuff on him, and I was like, no shit. The first piece I did on him was the Chrome Beetle, and anytime he enters that thing in anything, he always plays like
Always
first or
places,
second.
dude,
That's
yeah.
great. Which, touching on tattoo conventions and the contests, dude, I need everybody to know, man, that's all opinion based shit or a who knows who thing. I mean, maybe not all the time, but man, I've seen conventions where you don't even have tattooers judging, or people who are even like tattoo collectors or enthusiasts who know what they're looking for judging these things, man.
Yeah.
You'll have, especially in these villain art shows, some of these entries, dude, up to 100 people or more in each category. You know, so what? They're looking at each tattoo a minute or two at a time. They're not really not digging into these things.
Yeah, and like even remembering half of them, you know, like
dude, that's what I'm saying.
I've judged before, and like you have to like write down shit, and then you.
And could you imagine accidentally like getting a number off? You know, like, you know, they come up with the ticket, it showed them what number they are. Just having a number off, and just that alone can have somebody place over somebody who did something way better, you know? It's all opinion based, man. It really is, dude, because you have 3, maybe 5 judges judging a contest. You take those 5 judges, 3 judges, whatever, take them out, swap them out with a whole different round. You're going to have a different result. Because it's all perception. It's all opinion based. I try not to wrap myself up. Man, I remember whenever I was younger, I was all about it. Like, oh, I'm going to win these awards. I got to have them. Yeah. But nah, man, I was such a fool investing so much emotion into it,
when
man.
You get
like,
that first
being
one,
heartbroken, like,
that shit, like, that shit hit different when you got that
first one, dude.
But then, yeah, like, it kind of, once you realize that it is opinion based, you're like, man, it doesn't really hit.
I'm going to save my $10, $15, $20, dude.
Especially when they give out participation trophies
for like fifth place, bro. Keep it, dog. Look, dude, if you ain't first, you're last. They need to have first place awards.
Ricky Bobby, baby.
Yeah, they only need first place awards, first place loser awards, and second place loser awards, and that's it. Second, third place, those are paperweights. Yep. That's it, dude. If it ain't first, you're last.
I would like just put it at my station and then put something right above the number, just so you see that award but don't see what it says. Put like a little piece of tape over it.
Yeah,
dude, that's so funny, man.
Dude, so much wood wasted on those plaques, bro. I'm saving them for the apocalypse, dude. For all that fire lumber.
Did you see that video of Josh Herman taking all his trophies and just throwing them in the dumpster?
Dude, that's boss, bro. That's great.
Yeah. I fucking love him for that, dude.
But like, man, like, does that make you a good tatter? Having awards? I don't think so, man. No. I don't think so.
Like that or like slapping it in your bio. Like, I don't really.
Dude, that's like, the lamest shit to me, like, dude. Award-winning artist.
For every award-winning artist, I see 100 that don't have that in their bio that are 10 times better.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I don't know. I think it's just them trying to sell themselves on that, you know, just like these Ink Master guys, dude, who hasn't been on a show since like season 1. What, we're at season 15, 18 now, whatever, dude.
Yeah, it's up there.
Ain't been on there since like season 2. And every convention, Ink Master. I'm like, bro, you won't know Ink Master, dog. You was the first one to go home, dog. Fucking Ink Master.
Yeah.
I remember one dude. I ain't gonna say no names, but he's like, I'm a portrait artist, and if I go home on portrait day, I'm gonna just throw my machines in the ocean or whatever. He went home on portrait day. He's a local artist. It's funny. Every time I see him, I'm like, you still got your machines, bro? Dude. I love you. Not gonna say no names. It's funny though.
Well, that's what I like about this area, dude. I feel like there's such a hub for like heavy hitting artists. I feel like every street has like 3 Ink Masters at it,
dude.
Tampa,
just in this area alone, there's like 6 Ink Masters.
Tampa, dude, I don't know what it is about this area, like Tampa, St. Pete.
Yeah.
But holy shit, dude.
Yeah, we've got some bangers here, dude. Yeah. What is it, Mara over at Passion Portes on Instagram, over at Electric Gold?
Yeah, Electric Gold.
Banger, bro. Damn, bro. Banger, dog. Like,
I'm so glad she
slaps, dog. Damn. I thought I was good, and then I looked at her work, and I'm like, man, I need to go back to school.
Yeah. Her shit. Dude, did you see that one she just did on Skylar? She the one.
On his ribs, the Fudo. Yeah. Oh man, it's beautiful work. Beautiful work, man. Crazy, beautiful. Finesse is definitely, you can tell the finesse in her work, dude. It's
beautiful.
Dude,
everyone in Electric Gold, both shops. You got Heart Tattoo. You got Amulet Classic. You got fucking.
Dude, whatever happened to Red Letter?
People over at 7
Whatever
Weekers?
Happened to Red Letter 1?
Red Letter
that fell apart.
So. Yeah,
because I used to use that old gold all the time. That was my favorite pigment up until forever.
Yeah, I can't.
You know,
and then Adam knows a little more on that, but I know they kind of had a falling out. Not so much a falling out, but I think they just like went their separate ways.
Okay.
Kind
Yeah,
of
I remember Old Gold
Trilogy,
was
Squire.
it was a great pigment. And then once that went out, I swapped over to Eternal, man. Eternal. I feel like as far as every color that they put out, it just goes in so easily, dude. And they have a pigment that works for pretty much every type of tattooer, man. You know, whether you like thinner pigments, thicker pigments, like they have whatever there, man. I love that pigment so much.
Yeah, Eternal is one of those companies where I started out on them. And I've tried everything. Yeah. You remember like Mom's Pigment?
Oh, God. Monthly Red? Yeah. Monthly Red? Nuclear Green? Yeah, I remember that.
Dude, and no matter what, I always go back to them. Yeah. You know, I try different pigments.
Eternal, man. I don't know. The name's there, bro. Eternal, dude. Like, I whenever I first started, I was using Starbright. Love Starbright. Goes in gray. It's a bit of a thinner pigment. Yellow, yeah, that canary yellow's boss, bro. The white's boss. Mm-hmm. But for me, seeing my tattoos 5 years down the road, it looked like they were 10, 15 years old. And I'm like, why does it look so washed out and fucking whatever? Swapped over to Eternal. Actually, Brent Green, buddy of mine, who was a pivotal person in my career of tattooing. If there was no Brent Green, there would be no Chazz Hysell where he is today. Because that dude, he helped out composition, just everything, every little aspect and corner of tattooing. He was very helpful. That's what helped me really get good, honestly. And then he turned me on. It was oddly enough that just the black. I was using dynamic, you know. Put me on that lining black, dude, and it's not just good for lining, bro. Like everything, all my solid black shit that you see, it's shaded in with lining black too. Like, you know, I don't use triple blacks or tribal blacks or none of that stuff, you know. It's just lining black, dude, and it's not too thick, it's not too thin, goes right in, man, and it's great. And from there, I was like, well, if this works that great, I'm gonna try the red. I'm gonna try their blues, and just turned into now I'm sponsored by them. You know, it's crazy.
Oh, that shit. Yeah, fuck yeah, that's sick, dude. Hell yeah.
Damn silly people.
Oh no, you don't use dynamic.
Well, I just got Allegory.
Allegory, man. I got turned on to Allegory. Allegory is a nice black. It really is nice, smooth black. Yeah. Bit thinner to my liking. It's like water, dude.
Well, I had to start using their ultra black, and I noticed like it definitely went in easier. It lined a lot easier. It looked a lot better.
Right.
It's just extra black.
Yeah, extra black, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Man, fuck. Yeah, we should get into some funny shit, huh? Like, dude, I know you got some stories.
Oh,
worst
stories?
Client ever. Let's get.
All right, worst client ever, dude.
Maybe not worst client, like maybe like
so this one time, man, this chick came in when she had this really, really bad butterfly done, really bad butterfly, and she wanted it redone, so I redid it, you know, and she absolutely fucking hated the white highlights that I put in it. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? She was like, she wanted everything kind of flat color, but she didn't state this out to begin with. You know, and I'm like, well, that would have been good to know before we even went into this. I was like, you know, you said give you a pretty butterfly. I gave you a pretty butterfly. Man, she made the biggest fuss over those white highlights, dude. I can't, man. I don't know. If you want something done a certain way by somebody, please let them know. Be open, be vocal, dude. Like, I find a lot of clients just scared to just talk. Don't ever hold your tongue on shit, man, because you're gonna wear it forever. You know, and
even if you're not comfortable with the artist, design, whatever,
dude, fucking walk, dude. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be committed. I mean, at most, what are you putting down for a deposit? I mean, me personally, I'd take $100 deposit. I would eat $100 before I wear something that I'm gonna not like for the rest of my life.
To fucking hate on you forever,
dude. Like,
and then they'll have to go through a cover up or laser treatment or whatever, dude. Yeah, no, that ain't worth it.
What's that?
You think they're in the government, or you think they're just like walking around like watching us?
No, they're definitely they're intermingled in all walks of life, man. All right.
All right, we're back from the break. Talking about aliens, dude.
Aliens, dude. They're here.
Did you ever like look into like Tom DeLonge's shit?
Yes. Yeah, dude. He's deep into it.
When you really like, you're like, when you break it down, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like this is totally plausible. Like
Oh,
they have,
absolutely.
like dimensional shit where like frequencies
Dude,
and like
yes, absolutely.
they're here, but like obviously we can't see and hear
Nah,
certain
yeah.
frequencies.
I mean,
like,
dude, we all vibrate at a certain frequency, even color, like the green leaves behind your head, bro. Like that's only that thing could and possibly be every other color but the color that's refracting onto your eye.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Of
Like,
seeing, yeah,
it's wild, and I definitely feel like there's whole lives, whole civilizations of entities or whatever that is definitely just walking around, and we just don't see or feel them because we vibrate on such a different plane. You know?
think that's like what ghosts are? You just see like a glimpse of something.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
oh yeah,
absolutely,
yeah. Like
absolutely.
Like I've looked into it, and like ghosts and stuff like are on like a different dimension because they're on different frequency.
Yeah.
It's like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
If you really
Yeah,
like break
no,
Stranger Things down,
yeah.
like, it's pretty spot on. The plausibility of what we go through.
So do you think they're trying to like bring it up through media
So-
to get you like accustomed?
Oh, dude,
to
they're
it,
definitely
or-
desensitizing
It was
us for
2012
sure.
December. All right, so you remember the whole Mayan calendar
Yeah.
right? Ended December whatever, fucking 2020 or 2012, right?
That's my birthday.
So I think everybody mistaken that for the end of the world, but it was a timeline. We shifted into a different timeline, and around that same time, CERN, the Hydra Collider thing that they've discovered the God particle. You remember that? I don't know if you remember that, but that definitely
CERN
happened.
over in Switzerland, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that happened around that time of the Mayans' end of calendar. So I feel like we definitely like that whole Mandela effect. I believe it, dude. Like we've been shifting into
Chick-fil-A is not spelled CHICK.
No,
that shit is CHIC-FLL.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. No.
Bernstein Bears,
Well,
Bears.
no, I
whatever.
I hit up my parents about that, like the Jiffy thing, like
Yeah.
the peanut butter. Like, no, it was definitely Jiff or
One or
was
the
it?
other.
Like
One or the other.
No, Jif. It was like Jiffy or
Yeah, it's
whatever
Jiffy,
it was.
Jiffy, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yep,
But
that's
now
what
it's
it
just
was.
Jif or some shit, right?
Yeah, it's just
Something
Jif, yeah.
no, that's definitely not my peanut butter I ate growing up for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about that stuff.
Yeah.
man.
Did
Like,
you guys see that thing in Miami where like 100 Miami cops were pulled
the
out?
Miami
Yo,
thing,
the
yeah.
whole force. And they saying that as a gun shoot.
No, they said there's some kids like throwing fireworks at each other, but then all
bullshit.
the
They had the
ways,
whole
like-
force there,
well,
bro.
They also
I call bullshit.
They also
bro.
shut down the Wi-Fi and all the electricity within like three miles
Wild.
or like 3
But
blocks
why?
around.
Why?
well,
it.
here's
Because
the
they
thing
don't want
too.
the-
Like, you look at
Yeah,
beings like that
yeah.
definitely live on a different frequency, and they have if they have the capability to do that,
Yeah.
then they have the capability to not be seen with our electronics.
Yeah.
You
So
know, that's why things are seen with like ultra red.
Yeah.
Or like, what's the frequency? Fuck.
yes.
Yeah. No, like infrared. That's,
infrared, infrared, yeah.
That's why they're able to see with infrared.
It's like there was that what was that fucking paranormal activities movies. You remember they had the infrared or the laser lights that would come off the your PlayStation VR or whatever, you know, and it's picking up entities, you know, because it vibrates at that frequency. But dude, Franklin Roosevelt, dude, back in like whenever he was in, they signed a treaty with these aliens, entities, whatever, dude.
Yeah, you're talking about.
He said he had like a dentist appointment and he like disappeared for like a time and then
Dude,
came back.
I'm saying like no. What I'm saying is the technology we have accessible today is in trade with this treaty with these aliens, so aliens can study us, human life. You know, all these people being abducted and all these stories that's happening, all these sightings that are people seeing, is in return for the technology that we are all having our hands every day. Like think about how quick that the technological jump was, man. It happened like literally.
We went from like
if we think about like all of human life, it was a blip blip of it.
We went
dude.
from like riding horses and like baking bread in ovens to like cell phones and flying and jets and like missiles. And
they've already
everything.
made the first flying car. Honestly, they're actually in the process of like figuring out routes for it and stuff. Like that's the only reason it hasn't been released to public, because they're trying to find safe airspace for it and develop routes for these things to follow, like roadways, dude, so that they can just autopilot.
Dude,
that's what they say. Is
Wild,
like,
bro. We're living in
technology is,
Jetsons time.
way
Dude.
beyond. Well, they also say that the Jetsons technology that you see was like figured out back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Like way
Yeah,
back then.
dude, it's crazy.
Call me old fashioned, bro. I just want my moon boots. Give me my little moon boots so I can hop around, dude. I don't need a flying car. I don't need a jet.
I want my dog to be automatically fed every
My
day.
hoverboard,
dude.
dude.
I'm good. I don't need
I never
any
want to
more.
clean my kitty litter box again. Like figure that shit out. That's it. That's the
Yeah,
technology I want.
Dude, I just want something to fetch things out the refrigerator when I'm real high. That's it. Yeah,
That's what
I
kids
don't
are
even
like,
want to
bro.
go get it. Just
Yeah, you have your
just-
little Rosie robot bringing you your fucking beer and
dude,
shit.
that's
Like
it,
make your
man.
mac and cheese.
Hell yeah.
I love that, dude. Yeah.
Dude, speaking of technology, why don't you bring out those smelling salts?
Oh my
Oh
god.
god,
You want me
smelling
to?
salts?
Steve and-
Oh.
Steve made me go get these fucking
Yeah,
things.
I did.
So.
Yeah. So if you've ever passed out during a
Oh
tattoo,
god.
odds are your artist has used smelling salts on
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I personally have never smelled them. I've had
No,
clients,
I've never had to smell
clients
them
pass out
myself
on me.
either.
I've used them,
Yeah.
but I've never.
And I
I've
tried,
never even
bro.
really had to use one on a client, dude. I've never really had anybody like pass completely type out.
Well, I feel
God,
like
are
it's
you
only
serious?
fair that as artists
Oh, I don't
I
want
mean,
one.
what is
You
it
have
like?
to.
Officers,
As a
they
guest,
get
bro.
tased. You know, like they have to tase each other during school
you know
or whatever.
what's funny about the officer
I don't
thing?
even want to,
You
bro.
probably
This is
don't.
gonna
Even,
hurt
you
me,
probably
ain't
won't
it?
even be friends with me after this. I was almost a cop.
What?
Yeah, I went through
Why?
the academy and everything,
That's
dude.
so funny. I mean, like,
No, I did.
wow,
I
dude.
I
like
was in
going
the
trying
to
to
the
make 'em a
academy.
buddy
Yeah,
cop,
dude.
but you
I mean,
know
I
it.
feel like that would be a cool thing just to do. Like, honestly, to like
Yeah.
go through whatever, just to
Just
you
a
know,
little some aggression.
I
you know?
think because I bet they got like, did they put you through obstacle courses?
Oh, yeah.
See,
All
that
of it,
shit
yeah.
just sounds fun, bro. Like, just
Yeah, it
running,
was
jumping
fun.
through obstacle
But
courses.
tattooing was funner, man.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
At the same time, I was in my apprenticeship.
Hey,
I was
you
like,
can
no,
get high
you know
when
what?
you want
Like,
to.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah. I can get tattooed. Don't have to fucking worry about fucking upsetting my
Dude.
superior or whatever.
No, man, like I've had, dude. So the last cop I tattooed, like I felt like he was like kind of like ashamed to even tell me he was a cop, and I'm like, bro, if you really feel like that, and honestly, I'm glad he didn't. He kind of waited till halfway through the tattoo, because if he would have told me beforehand, I would have probably just been like, nah, bro, sorry, sorry, you know, and we're gonna have to not do this today. I got sick or something, like whatever.
Yeah,
I would have got myself out of tattooing, but. Yeah, dude, he was like really like skittish on telling me he was a cop, and in my
It's a
opinion,
scary
I'm like,
time for
bro, I'm
police,
like,
dude. It's
if
like-
you're that like just weird about it or whatever, or hesitant to even talk about, it, like I want to tell you I'm a tattooer. I'm not gonna tell you I'm a tattooer at a bar, you know,
Oh,
but
God,
like,
that's the worst place.
yeah,
to
yeah,
fucking tell
hell no,
someone.
dude. I'm a plumber at the bar, dude.
Yeah.
Or
Dude, I
the-
have so many people. They're like, "You do tattoos?" I'm like, "No,
no, yeah,
no, I
dude.
don't." They're like, "You don't?"
Obviously, I do tattoos. You
I'm
know,
like, "No,
mean,
I don't." I'm
but,
sorry, no.
dude, I think the furthest I would really go is be like, yo, so I'm just a shop hand, dude. Like, I'm the counter person. Here's the card to my favorite tattooer in the shop, dude. It's my homie, and it would be me. Yeah. Yeah.
I will say one time I said this to a person. He was like, well, "What do you do?" I was like, "Oh, I'm a barber." You know, because like that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah, that fits.
He's like, "Oh no,
Barista.
shit." He's like, "I want to get my hair done." He's like, "You fucking, where's your shop at?" I'm like, "Oh man, I'm like just moved to the area." I like
Yeah.
had to like really
Yeah.
like.
Now
catch
you have to
myself.
make up
I'm
this
like,
whole
"Fuck, dude."
story.
I was like, I just moved to the area. I haven't like found a shop I'm working at yet.
Where
Yeah,
you
dude.
from? Where'd you move from?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Dude, it's
yeah.
like-
Fucking Alaska, bro.
Foot in mouth, you know. Like, but yeah, dude.
Oh God. No,
We should probably do these, huh?
The only time I really had somebody pass out on me, the whole tattoo was done. Completely done, went over all aftercare instructions, bandaged her up. And this was when at a 50-50 shop, dude. So I took her over to the register, cashed her out. She gets out the door, walks maybe halfway to her vehicle, dude, and just drops. Out cold, dude. Kind of looked like she had a
out the-
seizure and shit. I run out there. I'm like, "You okay? You okay?" And luckily, she'd come to. Like by the time I got out there, because I went out there fully unprepared, no smelling salts, no nothing, you know. But yeah, dude, that's the only time I've ever had anybody pass out. I've seen people throw up. I've seen people pee themselves, dude, poop themselves, dude. That's some embarrassing shit.
It
dude.
sucks, dude.
That's scary,
Yeah.
man.
This guy I worked with when he was an apprentice, he couldn't turn anything away. And he had this old guy come in, get tattooed, and shit his pants halfway through the tattoo.
Oh, no.
And his mentor made him finish the tattoo to get paid instead of kicking him out, dude. Just smelling doo-doo the whole
Nah,
fucking
Dude,
bro.
he made him
I would have
finish
quit.
that shit?
I would have
Yeah.
quit right
Yep.
then and be
Yeah.
like, fuck that. You finish this fucking
Yeah.
tat, bro.
Yeah, I'm putting myself in a shitty situation.
So how does this work, bro?
I think we just open it.
Just open
and
it,
just
smell it.
pull it out and smell
You
it.
got to pull it out.
It's like a towel.
Is it a condom? It's condom shaped
put it-
the
wrapper.
worst condom you'll ever fucking. All right, we
Oh
doing
god.
this? Yeah.
Oh, it's a fucking.
Towelette.
Oh
that's-
yes. Oh, that'll wake you up.
All right, let's see who can smell the lemon.
Oh, that hurts the nostrils, dude.
Oh, it's in my eye.
Oh, yeah.
Damn! Wow! Wow,
It's
that's
kind
like
of satisfying though. Oh,
that's like
shit.
that's like when you jump in a pool for the first time. You
Oh,
get
and
that
all
fucking
that-
like the public pool with the chlorine
Way too
in your
much
nose.
chlorine in it.
Woo!
You're right. You're right.
Oh,
It's in my
I keep.
eyes.
It's like a train
Whoa.
wreck, bro. Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna bring this.
wow,
to the
that's
gym.
gonna work
That
if
opened
you
me up,
ever
though.
pass out.
Ugh. That will wake you up.
God damn!
I've never passed out. I've never been knocked
want
out,
to.
dude. I've been hit hard enough. I wish I was knocked out before. You know?
Fuck, man, I'm like
He's
fucked up from
tearing
this.
Well, when you see them pass out and come to, they look so
Ugh,
happy, bro.
shit.
Oh, God, wow! Wow, fuck. That's like in there.
Whose idea was this? That was
Steve's.
great.
Yeah, it was mine. I fucked up,
Steve
guys.
was
I'm
like,
sorry.
Fuck these guests.
No, I actually almost passed out one time. I got my palm done by Paul Schnell,
Dude, palms suck, dude.
and we ripped some dabs beforehand.
Oh, that's the
that
way-
was where I fucked up, dude.
You're already in your head. Your
Yeah,
anxiety,
I was
bro.
like, oh, bro, I need a fucking second.
See,
And I don't know if I passed out, Paul. You gotta tell me if I did, buddy. If you're watching
dude,
this, yeah,
I did.
like-
I did. So I do some dark black lettering, dude. You know, that's my alter ego. Is my black work stuff. But which is Hoary Honky on Instagram, by the way, guys. Go check it
Shout
out.
out.
But
Shout out, yeah.
I was doing the big like whole fingers black lettering on his first letter, one letter. I get towards the tail end of that thing, and he's like, "Bro, I think I need a minute." And I didn't look at him at all. I ain't looked at him since I started that thing. I'm probably 10 minutes into this tattoo. And I look up, dude, and he's ghostly white with a green hue to him, and he's just drenched in sweat. And I was like, "Oh yeah, bro, you need a minute, dude." So I put my machine down, take my gloves off, fucking, and I'm like, "Yo," I was like, "You need some water or something? I got you, bro." I go over there, I grab some water, come back to him, and I give him the water. He takes a couple sips, and then next thing you know, is you remember Knockout Kings 2004, whatever, dude. Whenever you would knock somebody out, it was just,
Yep.
that's what he started doing in the chair. So I grabbed him, dude, so he wouldn't like fall over or anything. And I'm like, "Yo, you're good, you got this." And his eyes are fluttering in the back of his head, and I'm like, "Oh my god, dude!" And the next thing you know, he just comes right back to. He's like, "Hey, what happened? Why is all this water
"We
on the
good?"
floor?"
Yeah.
And I was like, he had the cup of water in his hand, and as he's like doing this, dude, he's like shaking water all over the place, and I catch the cup out of his hand before it hits the ground. And I was like, "Bro, he's got water all over him, water all over the floor." And when he comes through, he's like, "Why am I wet? Like, what's water everywhere?" I was like, "Bro, like you just got water all over the place." He's like, "I had water," and like he didn't remember none of that, dude. Like he was out, and man, I mean, other than that, I wouldn't even claim that as like a complete pass out, dude, because like, dude, like he was still talking to me, like everything, but nobody was home, dude. Nobody was
lights are on,
home.
no one's home.
Yeah, dude, it was wild.
Yeah, anytime I've ever had someone pass out on me, it rarely goes beyond 5 seconds.
Yeah, no,
You
that
know,
was
it's-
no more than that.
yeah.
It was wild, man.
But it hasn't happened in a long
Scary.
ass time.
Dude, I've
long
seen
ass
some
time.
funny
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched this one, dude. It was a Friday the 13th, dude. And my homie, John Reese, he was doing piercings. And he had just got done piercing this dude's tongue or whatever. And this fool started walking to go pay for it. And he just drops, boom, a sack of potatoes on the ground. And like no sooner than he falls down, he pops right back up. And we're like, yo, you good? You good? You just passed out. He's like, I didn't pass out. I just tripped. I'm like, nah, bro, you passed the fuck out, dog. Dude, I seen a dude. All right, you remember the big glass countertops?
Yeah.
Or the glass with all the jewelry in it or whatever. Yeah.
Display cases. Yeah.
A dude standing there to pay for a tattoo. My buddy Jason just got done tattooing. And he gives Jason the money, and dude starts swing, and then he falls forward and smashes head first into this glass counter, shatters it, dude. Luckily, he never got injured by it. Like, he didn't in a scratch on him. But that was terrifying. I thought he was dead.
You ever see the movie Due Date?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
where he like gets in the car wreck. He's like, it's because I was passed out. I was limp, you know. There was a girl. Same thing happened where she like was going back and passed out, dude. Poof! Right on the corner, like on the corner of a wall, dude.
Oh,
blew her hat off and everything.
Ouch.
She got up, not a scratch. Not
wow,
like,
dude.
what happened?
Dude,
you know, it's like
it's crazy.
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like
wild,
dude.
Man.
Like
I've never.
If I would have done that, like I would have
dude.
broke my face, broke my nose, blood everywhere. You know.
I watch people, man. Like sometimes whenever they come to, have you ever did the thing like back in school when you was younger, where you hold your breath real long and you let somebody, push you against the wall or squeeze you real tight or whatever, and you just pass out. I feel like that would probably be the closest to like just passing out. You know what I'm saying? Because you come to, all your friends are laughing at you. You have no idea where you're at, what's going on, what just happened to you. Like that's scary.
That was the thing we did. Not like kids nowadays are eating Tide Pods.
No, they're eating Tide
for
Pods,
brain
dude.
damage anymore. These fucking pussy ass kids.
Oh man,
fuck, dude. Man.
Dude, yeah, crazy, man.
Well, this has been a lot of fucking
so
fun,
much
guys.
fun,
Yeah,
dude. I'd love to come do this again anytime.
Well, you might
This
have
is
to.
great.
You
We
might have
should, yeah. I mean, we've been going a long time, so I think it's probably time maybe.
Yeah, man, absolutely,
wrapping
dude.
it
It's
up.
been an honor and a pleasure hanging out
thank
with
you
you
so
guys
much,
as always, dude. Steve, love you, brother.
Love you, man.
Love you,
dude.
dog.
Yeah. Yeah, give everyone here a follow. Follow us on all the social medias, TikTok,
Go save the post.
Instagram. Yeah.
Save it.
Save it. Yeah.
Share it.
Help the algorithm.
It's free.
It is free. Yeah, that's the crazy thing.
It costs you nothing to show support.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you for supporting the channel. Hope to see you guys on the next one.
All right.
Cool. Yeah.
Deuces.
Peace, guys.
Toy.
Yeah, dude.
That smells something.
Oh God.